Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Right now I'm on my Twitter. I'm gonna go over some tweets that I had tweeted over a couple of days. Um, I was gonna post a video before, but I was like I'm gonna wait because I know I'm gonna be tweeting some more. So yeah, so let's get it started really. So this tweet right here, talking about XinFin investors. It's happening. Lenders had refused to issue letters of credit unless issued on behalf of a buyer and act as a guarantee of payment to a seller. Letters of credit to be issued by the buyer. This helps with letters of credit inventory, right? And it's just a picture explaining. It was about a company financial problems started earlier this year when a number of lenders refused to issue letters of credit used intensively by traders. Letters of credit are issued on behalf of a buyer and act as a guarantee of payment. That's what I said. Quoted, once the trade is completed, the buyer repays the bank. Because of defaults by other oil traders, several of Hin Long, that's like the CEO of this company we're talking about, or bank, whatever, lenders decided to reduce their exposure or stop providing commodity trade finance. According to Friday's court filings, so the court was like basically going through their records and everything and doing everything and finding out why um, what they've been doing to reduce their cash position because um, it's very unusual. So Leon's total liabilities were just over 4 billion. April 9th against assets worth just 714 million, leaving a 3.3 billion hole, suggesting lenders may only require 18 cents on the dollar. Meanwhile, the company's inventories were valued at 141 million compared to the 1.2 billion stated in its 2019 annual accounts, which were signed off last month by Deloitte Bank. Its cash position had sunk to just 50 million from 461 million. So it was 461 million the cash position they had just sitting somewhere useless, and then now it's turned into 50 million. Whatever the final amount is, Hin Long will be big and the largest trading failure in Singapore. So, um, so that's pretty great, y'all. Like lenders are refusing to issue letters of credit when they wanted a certain way done, and TradePhoenix with a lot of different consortium companies, enterprises that banks are invested in will contribute to the ecosystem. So go on to the next one. So this is what everybody's talking about. The Dutch bank had put out this report or whatever, talking about their XRP and Swift. So quarter seller technology partners and let's look. So I'm not have too much to say because I really don't know too much, but I'm guessing I think A is crypto exchange. So I think that's like um for like XRP, like the just basically saying liquidity of buy and sell. And I think this is like the settler is like quarter seller, and quarter seller would be used for XRP for like cross borders, just to get like everybody on board fast payments. And Swift is right next to it doing the same thing because they have a important role as well, and it shows like a buy and sell. I feel like this is Swift now. I think did I tweet it today. Yeah, I did tweet it today. I'll show you that later. But Swift had announced that they are not going to be doing the messaging system like which Ripple is doing with banks, etc. They said they're going to be positioning themselves as a manager, like as the manager of like the trades of messaging. Like they're not going to be held with responsibility for all the what they used to have to worry about, but now they're letting people like Ripple handle that responsibility. So they're focused their position on other things, right? So and then yeah, so I'll show y'all later, but that's important for XinFin because I believe Swift will be used with the cloud to store data and transactions for the network of their banks and institutions. They're not worried about. They know they can't be the fastest one no more. Now they're trying to worry about the network and the privacy and the connectivity of it all in the cloud and all this other good stuff with the GPI. They're not worried about being the fastest. They don't have a cryptocurrency. They're not Ripple. They don't have XRP. So that's done. But I think they knew that already. So they had to figure out. If you're Swift, you got to figure out how you're going to play the role, right? You can't compete with something you just can't compete with. So you got to figure out different ways to use your business or whatever, change the business model some way. So they changed the positions to managing, and I feel like that's where Swift GPI handles with the cloud, and XinFin handles that. And they said they want to handle privacy, and they will allow banks to have certain things public and certain things private. So I think that's what's going on. And I'm not sure about this, but the box of C, the smart contracts, and it says ERC, a buy and sell, that could be XinFin, but that's just something I just said. I really don't really know, but I know ERC don't mean XRP, but yeah. And then next one, D, I don't really have too much. It says smart contract. It could be anything. It could be Link. That's what I actually probably think it could be. All right, let's go on to the next one. Oh, and also, TradePhoenix handles all of this. So this was also in the what they had said. So a lot of y'all a lot of the Ripple and like XRP maxis and lovers was talking about like, oh, this is like using XRP. I'm like, XRP do not tokenize asset platforms, smart contracts. Like, that's not their thing. Like, do you see Ripple on stage talking about smart contracts and all this stuff? No, they don't even talk about that because Ripple said they want to focus on one thing and like be like the leader of it. I get that, but like just because they have some capabilities of maybe could do it like with Codius and stuff, don't mean they're actually doing it and actually being a really strong leader in it. So when I look at this, I feel like TradePhoenix has a big advantage because talking about issuers and buyers, investors, that's all a platform of TradePhoenix. TradePhoenix is a platform, you know. They're not worrying about XDC is for the ecosystem, which is great, but like the platform is also great because it's like, and it's very regulated. So like, yeah, I can go on and on, but I don't want to lose track of myself. So when it says digitized money, you know, TradePhoenix always talks about digitizing letters of credit and all these other stuff, every paper aspects in finance, tokenized assets platforms, etc. So yeah, let's keep going. Oh snap! Did I mess up? Let's go down. All right. Now we're gonna talk about this. So I had tweeted, "Time to think seriously." Sorry about the one, you guys. Time to think seriously about XinFin. So the co-founders of XinFin, TradePhoenix, Ratish, had posted on LinkedIn, "Time to think seriously about hybrid blockchain like XinFin for transparency," and he also tagged all these important institutions as like the Reserve Bank of India, Abu Dhabi Global Market, Monetary Authority of Singapore, the World Bank Reserve, Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco, the Federal Reserve System careers, soft. I don't know anything, but like if I was to guess, Federal Reserve System careers, I feel like they're probably like educating in some way or contribute to how things work in the trade finance system and helping the reserve. Maybe. Okay, so Hong Kong trade. Yeah, so he tagged out all those things, all those people. So let's go on to the next tweet. I had tweeted about the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, quoted liquidity coverage ration requirements for scheduled commercial banks brought down from 100% to 80% with immediate effect to be restored in two phases by October 2020 and April 2021. So I really don't know much, but when somebody says something to be restored in two phases, something's going to happen incredibly different. Like restore means like restart, fix, and we talk about liquidity. Like maybe XRP, because XRP is always talking about liquidity. But I think the restart might contribute to XinFin in some way. And I don't know much, but I'm going to be keeping an eye on these months. And we'll see what happens with that. Let's go. Next one. Alright, so I had got this video I did a while ago, like a couple months ago. It was nothing, but then, it came out that Quarter had got, R3 Quarter had, I don't know exactly what it's called, but they got approved from some government or something, regulatory thing, competing against Hyperledger and uh, all these other blockchain companies or whatever, and R3 was a winner basically. R3 was like the most compliant or whatever, and Chainstack manages blockchain services for hyperledgers and all that stuff, and they had posted about it, and I just wanted to put out an old video I had did talking about them loving the hybrid blockchain network. So this is the co-founder of Chainstack, and just gonna hear a little bit what he has to say. And sounds pretty bullish on hybrid blockchains. Let's check my stuff out.
Lies within sort of hybrid network when you have private or consortium network for very, very high speed transactions and some private data storage and so on. But then you want to leverage public networks as well, so that you can actually verify that your transactions were not tampered with, and that your network state is correct, and so on. So we believe in these hybrid networks. So initially we focused on the private consortium ones. We clearly see that we'll also provide ability to deploy public nodes as well. And in general, we are looking towards these hybrid networks that will be enabled by both.
Yes. All right. All right, you guys. Go on to the next tweet. All right. So I said, I spy TradePhoenix. How many will integrate into TradePhoenix? Think about it. So I had to ask myself, how many of these consortium, startups, enterprises, etc., will integrate into TradePhoenix? So I really don't know, but to looks of it and to my belief, a lot of it is. I see TradePhoenix is standing by itself in an enterprise section for trade documentation lifecycle. So what I'm getting from trade documentation lifestyle means like the whole life cycle of a asset, a trade, or any type of relation on a ledger or on a platform. And I feel like it's not the only one, but all those you see what says a consortium. A consortium is like a consortium of banks and all these different type of investors to create and all be on the same level to have a skin in the game. Now, that's a lot of them. And as you see, one of them is Voltron. And I'll talk about Voltron, which is now Contour. It's called Contour now, you guys. And it's definitely going to get integrated into TradePhoenix. It's already announced, it's already known. It's already is. So, and I believe next to it, where it says TradePhoenix, right here, and all that WeTrade, it's like IBM and Comgo, all this stuff. I really strongly believe in all the presentations TradePhoenix co-founders had did. It has showed that it had put like WeTrade and Comgo and Marco Polo all saying it can be on TradePhoenix, integrated with TradePhoenix. So I don't know all these companies and stuff, startups, but I don't know. But this is bullish for me. It's just a nice thing to see. And let's go to the next tweet. All right. So this is, I'm willing to bet from this Deloitte document, this blockchain technology in India consists of XinFin, TradePhoenix platform, and as you see, Stellar XLM. So remember, this is Deloitte and talking about blockchain technology in India. XinFin and TradePhoenix is strong in India. So it says blockchain experience by Indian players. So it says blockchain use cases in India developed into proof of concept. So the trade finance, the supply chain, the KYC document management, cross-border payments, and employee loyalty. So XinFin had already put out on their website they do loyalty rewards. They also do cross-border payments, but I'm not saying it's only going to be they're going to be like the main ones doing it. No, but I feel like they can play a role and participate. And as you see, Stellar's in there. And they said 2 of the private sector banks in India. And if XinFin and TradePhoenix is strongly with India, I think they probably work together. So and it says KYC documentation. Leading stock market exchange in India is exploring blockchain and the KYC. Leading bank. So overall, this is just something to look at and pay attention to, you guys. All right, next tweet. All right, I had made a prediction on Twitter. Something fun, but I'm really strongly believing in it. It says Bank of Japan Central Bank digital currency will be deployed by XinFin TradePhoenix. I have a link right here. It is not the link to this picture. It's a link of the article about Bank of Japan, and they talk about their digital currency, and they talks about the privacy consists of the help of Quorum, which XDC XinFin is a fork of, and then it talks about the interoperability of it, and then it talks about the public um, capabilities as well. So it was not strongly saying straightforward hybrid because they don't want to get that off, but it said the capability of a privacy, but also the public aspect. And it had more good stuff in there. I'm not going to go into the article, but if you want to look at it, it's in my tweet of this right here. Yeah, and I want to look at this. The reason also I believe that as well because this is I can't find the article of this presentation. I have found it before, but I lost it. But I just took a screenshot from a video. I think on XinFin or TradePhoenix, and it has said interoperability with public liquidity networks, and then it has said fiat currency, stablecoins that are regulated, and then it says XRP Bitcoin network in Japan or accepted markets. So I don't know why, out of all, why would it say Japan right there next to XRP and Bitcoin for what? And I'm thinking maybe shouldn't it be right there next to the stable coins, but then it says stable coins regulated. So what if it is Japan and it's just not regulated right now? Because you've been hearing about the whole ban stable coins right now. So I don't know. Food for thought. Something to think about. All right, World Bank Group distributed ledger taxonomy. I marked all where explaining hybrid blockchain, and the picture is how a hybrid blockchain look like with squares. So I got this from Ripple people. They had posted talking about distributed ledger, and I just wanted to really look into it and actually read it. And this is what a hybrid blockchain do, you guys. Right here. So how many ledgers copy of the ledgers are there? How many ledgers are there, you guys? That's a start. So the traditional ledger maintained by a central party, right? And then it says, where it says many, the reason why I say many is this means public. So, I'm sorry. Many means like who can access or use these copies, right? So like who's only right here, next step, could use it. And it says only trusted group of network participants. So these are the trusted people. Permissioned private ledger, right? So permission private ledger is for private aspects and nobody else can see it. Only these group of people who is part of the network. So that's the private blockchain. So and then it says to anyone. Anyone means public for everybody who maintains integrity of the ledger. So integrity of the ledger means like what is it like? That's basically saying people whoever's using this and it's out to everyone, the integrity is up to whatever happens out there. It has nothing to do with who has the ledgers or anything. It's just whatever's out there for anyone. It's whatever. So it says only set of trusted network participants by validations, which is a public ledger like Ripple. And then anyone without need for trust by consensus mechanism, which is like public ledgers like Bitcoin, which anybody can buy or sell Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, Ripple, Bitcoin, XRP, and so yeah, you see how it works, but like they didn't explain it like that for hybrid. But they want it to be like, so right here it goes to one person, here it goes to many people, but many people got to be trusted, so it's private, and then it goes to everyone, which is public for everybody, and this is a whole ecosystem. Yeah, so that's what I got from that. I don't think I want to read all that. You want to look at what else I put? It talks about like provides cryptographic solutions, providing security and protecting systems integrity and decentralized ledger that is maintained by a network of anonymous participants. I need my glasses, you guys. I don't want to keep reading it. I wear glasses. I don't know if you guys know that. All right. XRP Community, you guys pointed out. So this is just a tweet. They had talked about. It was like, this is XRP or whatever. And then once you actually read it, you know, we already know about the XinFin and TradeFinex connections with Bank for International Settlements, BIS, right? So it was talking about, basically they said, what they wrote about is the risk of the payments, clearing, and settlements occurs on a central ledger. And that said, DLT may pose new and different risks, including the potential uncertainty, security, the privacy. It is a lack of interoperability, infrastructures. TradePhoenix has a good interoperability infrastructure. Relating to settlement finality, that's just settlements in a couple seconds. A lot of cryptocurrencies could do that. And questions regarding the legality of the DLT implementation. So the legality, remember the only people who got approved was R3/4. That's what that is. The absence, number 5, the absence of an effective and robust governance framework. Number 6, issues related to data integrity. So basically, data that they want to have stored in private, and it will probably most likely be in cloud. Immutability and privacy. DLT is an evolving technology. It has not yet been proved to be sufficient robust for wide-scale implementation. So that said, they said if it says it's not yet been proven in this new document, you should think about why they're saying it. I feel like we got some good stuff going on, but I feel like it's not ready yet, and people think it really is, because they worried about privacy. You guys, you can't just. How are we going to fix that? Think about it. How are we going to fix privacy for all these data and transactions these banks and institutions don't want out there? And also to connect to the XRP Ripple, because everybody will run on Ripple with because XRP will be a great liquidity pool for any transactions of high speed. So the privacy aspect, how you gonna like do that? And I think that's how they're gonna do it with hybrid blockchain. So that's it. Let's see if we got another tweet. I don't want this video to be too long, so I might just probably my last one, and I just make a separate video later. So this right here, it's quote, it's like building the backbone for trade finance for the world from scratch. Came from TradePhoenix, Atul, co-founder. This is from a document. I wish it was a document, but it's one of the recent documents came out on like December 2019 with like the world trade and stuff, and like the ICC and all that stuff. So he gave the quote right here. So that's pretty crazy for me, because if he's saying it's like building the backbone, that means it's seeming like the TradePhoenix platform is like the foundation, and like everybody would just put their central bank digital currencies on there, all the assets of their central banks, all their assets and stuff will be digitized on TradePhoenix, and then it'll come from TradePhoenix, and then all these companies, consortium of banks and etc. enterprises like Comgo, Contour, which was Voltron, and like all these consortium of trade finance, whatever, will be integrated into TradePhoenix, and then it will be a whole ecosystem of interoperability. Because also, if XinFin, I don't want to say if, XinFin TradePhoenix can deploy as of now a stablecoin also for a central bank. So then that's also great, because if they deploy central bank digital currencies, and then they have a platform where they could put all their assets on there and digitize it, it makes only sense, you guys. It makes only sense. Only since. Now, I'm not saying, I don't want to say TradePhoenix is going to dominate the whole thing and it just be the standard of all platforms, but I feel like TradePhoenix has a good start, good connections, good partnerships, and the technology and the hybrid aspects, and it's very difficult to do that. It's very difficult, and TradePhoenix is just one platform. They have like 4 different platforms for like Swift and all this other stuff. This is just one. And people talk about XinFin don't have liquidity right now. Of course, it's like 400K liquidity on XDC coin market cap. But what's going on with XDC? You know what I'm saying? Like, what else is going on? Like, that's just that. Like, and that's not all to worry about right now. They could do one transaction that's worth 1K. That's called pilots, you guys. Pilots. I looked yesterday, a couple days ago, how many masternodes, and how many masternodes today is like probably 5 more masternodes. You know what I'm saying? Like, governments and all this stuff will probably have a masternode, most likely. So, yeah, that's how I'm gonna end it off. Thank you guys for watching my channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, show love to my channel, show love to me. Follow me on Twitter. I will follow you back most likely. If I don't, just tell me. I don't care. Have any questions, comment, tell me. I love learning about it. I love educating. I love being wrong sometimes so I could make sure I'm right. Yeah. See you guys next time in another video. Peace out, you guys.